Good afternoon and welcome to Real People, Real Voices. I'm your executive producer, Curtis Baker, and I'm sitting in for Pastor Jackson today.
And I'm Pastor Wayne Moore, the co-host of Real People, Real Voices. And we're happy to have you today. We got a great show, and we hope that you'll buckle in, sit tight, and ride with us. We're going to be talking about COVID-19.
Christine Brooks from the Marion County Public Health Department. Hey, do we have sponsors that we can talk about quickly?
Yes, we do. We have Tamika and Associates Realty Group doing a great job throughout Indianapolis, Indiana, and Central Indiana. Martin University and Marion County Public Health Department, and Lee Cussell and Crawley, Al's Modern Clothing and Shoes, His Places Eatery, Fervent Care Christian Academy, North Side Windows, Gutter, and Cleaning. Those are our plethora of sponsors. If you have a desire to be a sponsor, contact Curtis Baker.
And we'll be right back with Real People, Real Voices, Christine Brooks, right after this. And welcome back to Real People, Real Voices. We have our guest from the Marion County Health Department, Miss Christine Brooks. How you doing today, Christine?
I'm doing well. How are you all today?
Great.
Doing pretty good. It's good to have you back again with some COVID information. We need as much COVID information as we can get. Tell us what's happening in the city of Indianapolis and Central Indiana as it relates to the areas in which you have jurisdiction in with COVID-19 and what we're doing and what you're doing.
Okay, first thing I want to make sure I mention this time is to mention our call center, our COVID-19 call center. And that number, 317-221-5500, for anyone that has questions about COVID-19. We have that call center right now. It's operating Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. We also have, effective today, we announced for those people that have issues with registration online for vaccine appointments, you can go to our rshot.in.gov or call 211, of course, but now we have a phone number where you can call Marion County Public Health Department directly to register at both of our clinics. We have one on the east side and we have one on the west side. And that phone number is 317-221-2100. And again, we are taking walk-in appointments. Basically, you can just walk in on the east side location. And that address is 9503 East 33rd Street. And for those that take the bus, that site is sponsored by Indigo in partnership with us. And they have modified their Route 87 to make sure that folks who need to get vaccinated can easily have access to that site. So again, that's Route 87.
Can you give numbers again, Christine? I'm sorry, that was phone numbers.
The phone number for the COVID-19 call center is 317-221-5500. And to register at our sites, this is just registration for our sites for Marion County Public Health Department for vaccine sites. That number is 317-221-2100.
Okay.
That's phenomenal. Tell us where the location on the east side, which is sponsored by Indigo. What is the building called? So people can look for that building? Is it a?
It's in a like a industrial complex.
Okay.
There's lots of signage out there.
Okay, good. People need to look for landmarks when they travel.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure they're dropping them off right there on one of the main.
It's off of Post Road. So
Okay.
33rd and Post Road.
Okay, that's great. That's great. And so how is the data looking as it relates to people getting vaccinations?
So right now, we still have a lot of people that need to get vaccinated. The numbers are showing low. That's why we announced today that we wanted to just give the folks opportunities to just walk in and they can register on site. We have people that will register them. And then we also launched the number open to the public for people to register at our sites. It's important for people to continue to get vaccinated, especially the age ranges from 18 to 39, because we're finding that that's the age ranges that are being hit hard the most, that are ending up in the hospitals now. A lot of the hospitalizations are in that age range. And we have a lot of them that do not want to take the vaccine because they think that they're immune to it, and that's not true. So it's very important that people continue to get vaccinated. And I believe Pfizer, which is 16 years and older, they have been working with the FDA, and hopefully next week we're thinking that they might get their emergency use authorization approved for the ages of 12 to 15. So we'll be looking out for that. So just wait and see on that.
Yeah, I think, the data has slowed down.
Mhm.
Christine, has slowed down. And so we want to be a vaccination nation. We want to make sure that happens. And we got to keep pushing it. The good thing about it is that there are those who are literally pushing this, that a lot of people are just not aware of. And I know a lot of people who are in my circle who are literally pushing these shots and this vaccination and these locations. And I'm hoping that people will do that. We need to get the data up. We need to make sure that we can gradually merge ourselves into herd immunity, and that is based on the vaccination shot. Am I right?
That's correct. Right now, they're saying that in order for us to get herd immunity, or as community immunity, as you mentioned the last time I was
Oh,
on
you
your
like
show.
that, don't
See,
you?
I remember.
Yeah, community.
Um,
Yeah, community immunity. Yeah.
That we're going to need somewhere between, depending on what scientists you listen to, and documentation that you read, they say somewhere between 70% to 75% to all the way up to 90% in order to reach that herd or community immunity.
Yeah. You
So
like that. You
I
like
also want, I'm sorry.
that. You like that, don't you?
Yeah. So I also want to mention that the CDC launched, they modified their vaccine finder website, and they launched a text number location that you can text to. The first is vaccines.gov, where you can go and you can find all sorts of information. You can look up the different types of vaccines, and you can actually go into a vaccine finder on that website. But for anybody that has a phone that's text capable, they can text to the words get vax, GETVAX, and text their zip code to that, and they will get 3 locations along with the phone numbers of where they can possibly go get vaccinated that are close to their zip code.
All right.
Now, you've given us a whole lot of information so far in numbers and websites. Now, is there a central location that I can make it easier for a person to go? It's like your website and all of that is there, or is it?
So the CDC has websites, the State Department of Health has websites, and then of course Marion County Public Health Department has a website. Our website, marionhealth.org, MarionHealth.org. And then from there, on that first screen, you can click the latest on coronavirus.
Okay.
And that will take you to, there's a dashboard there with a lot of information about the numbers for the number of cases you can go to. You can, there, we have a dashboard, a link to a dashboard for the schools that can look at the cases in the schools and all the different demographics regarding the schools and the data. We also have some information for the businesses, for personal information for people that just want to know what's going on and about symptoms. Our testing sites, there's links to that on there and the information about that. We have some videos in different languages out there. We have lots of different information, and we also link to the CDC's website as well as the State Department of Health's website and a couple other resource locations as well. Now, the CDC also has, well, we can get into that when we talk about people being fully vaccinated.
Yeah.
But I want to mention before we run out of time, like we did last time, about the Homebound Hoosier program.
Before you get there, because I know that's
Okay.
going to take a minute, we're going to pause for
Okay.
a station break, pay our bills, and we're going to come right back and we're going to discuss that. So hold on, go get your sandwiches, people, and we'll be right back with Real People, Real Voices right after this. Welcome back to Real People, Real Voices. We have as our guest Christine Brooks from the Marion County Public Health Department. And you were talking, Dr. Moore, go in, but you had a question that you wanted to ask.
You were talking about the homebound element now. Tell us about the homebound element and how effective it's been.
So for those Hoosiers that may be disabled or have some kind of other issues, homebound, whereas they can't actually go out to a site to get vaccinated, there's a program called Homebound Hoosier Vaccination Program. The state launched it, but they turned it over to the counties. And so for Marion County Health Department, you have to contact the local area on aging. And our local area on aging agency for Marion County is SACOA. And so for those that need to get vaccinated and they need for someone to come out to their home, that they can call SACOA, and the phone number is 317-803-6131. And that'll take you right to the SACOA location. There is another numbers for area on aging, and you can call the 800 number. I think it's 888 number, but if you want to just go directly to SACOA for Marion County, you can dial the 317-803-6131. And there, I'm sorry.
There's really no excuse not to have the vaccination.
Yes, that's correct. And also, I want to mention that IU Health is actually providing rides to get any vaccination site within the state of Indiana. I don't have that number, but if people want to call our call center, we have all this information. And if they have any other questions, they can call the Marion County Public Health Department's COVID-19 call center and get that information.
So basically all of the numbers and websites that you've given us during the process of the show, just call that call center. We can get anything we need.
That is correct.
And as for Christine. No, don't do that.
We don't ask for you because you're too busy.
No, I have a staff that answers the phone. If there's an issue and a call needs to be elevated to me, then they get me the call.
Do you think
So
if Pastor Wayne Moore's on the phone that they would elevate that call?
I'm sure they would. No problem.
You know, we've talked about a lot of things about people who have not gotten their vaccine yet. But for those who have, obviously I've gotten mine. And I know some of the questions are, okay, I've got my vaccine. What's next? What do I do next? And I've gotten both shots. What's my next step?
So once you've gotten both shots, you're considered fully vaccinated 14 days after your second dose if you're taking Pfizer and Moderna. We have started reusing Johnson & Johnson at our Eastside Clinic, as well as the Homebound Hoosier program for Marion County. We use Johnson & Johnson. And so you become fully vaccinated, like I said, 14 days after those doses. And you can either go without wearing a mask if you're around one family, single household family that's maybe relatives or something that's close, and they can be unvaccinated. I really prefer for people to go to the website because it's very confusing, because we still like for you to reduce the number of people that you're around. So don't go around large crowds. Still wear your mask if you're around a lot of people that you're not sure about whether or not that they're fully vaccinated or not, because we can't really ask, you're not going to go up and say, well, are you vaccinated? Are you vaccinated? So if it's your family members and you trust them and, they say that they're fully vaccinated, then maybe if it's just one particular family that you're visiting, then you can go and be around them without your mask on. But otherwise, if you're out in public still and you're around a lot of people, wear your mask.
I encourage it as often as you can, wear that mask. We've had some great data based on that. And what I mean by that, we've even kind of put a dent in the flu this year.
Absolutely.
Influenza this year because of the mask wearing. We want to do what we have to do to bring this thing under submission. And if it means wearing that mask, we got to do it. And we got to continue to do it, even though we have been fully vaccinated, because there are still people throughout this country who have been vaccinated, and some are still having those symptoms. Am I right, Miss Christie?
Yes. So what happens is once you get the shot, let's say the first dose, when you get the first dose, sometimes people have minor symptoms. They may have pain or swelling around the injection site. They might have some slight headaches. They may have chills. They may have a fever. Usually the fever, if it's less than 100.4, you're fine. That may last for, 24 to 48 hours. But we recommend that if your symptoms last longer than that, more than a couple of days, then you might want to check with your primary care provider or some type of medical provider, and you might want to consider getting tested, especially if you start having some of the symptoms of COVID, like the coughs and some of the other symptoms that are listed on the CDC's website, because there have been occasions where people have been exposed and they may not be aware that they're exposed, but they actually have been exposed to the virus. They go and get their shot, and then they start having the symptoms, and it goes past that 24 to 48 hours, and they actually end up going to get tested, and they do have the virus. And so some of those people say, oh, well, I got the virus from the shot, but that's not the case, because you cannot get the virus from the shot. The vaccines only include instructional information to make your body create the antibodies that fight off the COVID-19 infection. It does not have, the shots don't have a live attenuated virus in them. They only carry instruction material to make your immune system go into effect, and then it tells it to, oh, well, if you see the COVID-19 virus in the body, then, oh, you're supposed to make these antibodies. And then once the viral load gets up in your body, if you actually get infected, then your body already has that instructions in there, and they already have some antibodies, and they go on attack mode. So that's what it's all about. That's how the shots work. And so then when you get that first dose, you have to wait till the 21 or 28 days to get the second dose, depending if you get Pfizer or Moderna. Pfizer is the 21-day, Moderna is the 28-day. If you get the Johnson & Johnson, of course, it's just the one shot. But once you get that second shot, and it's very important to get that second shot, because we're finding that people are not coming back to get their second shots. And that second shot actually increases that immune response by 36 times what it was when you first got that first dose. So it's very important to get that second dose.
Yeah, it's not the first one, it's the second.
Yeah, right, the second. And so then after after the 14 days, like I said, you become fully vaccinated, and then you can kind of ease on some of the restrictions, but that's really depending on what you're doing. And I encourage you to go to either our website or the CDC's website to check and see what you can do when you're considered fully vaccinated. Now, if you have minor symptoms and you want to talk to someone, the CDC actually has 2 sites where you can register. The first site is vsafe.cdc.gov, And that site it's sort of like a health checker as well. Like if you have your first dose of a 2-dose vaccine, then you can register on there and it'll remind you about that second dose. You can also send messages, text messages to the CDC, and they can you can have this two-way interaction with them if you're talking about your minor symptoms, and they can give you information and all of that. Now, the second website that I'm going to give you, that's for if you actually think that you're having some type of adverse reaction. Those are much more than the minor reactions. Those are some of the things where people say that, oh, they've had a major reaction or a rash or something like that at the vaccine site, other than just a minimal pain or swelling. And this site is called the VAERS. It's the Vaccine Adverse Effects Reporting System. And that's at https:// and then the 2// and it's VAERS, VAERS.hhs.gov. And that's where you can report yourself, or a medical provider can report on your behalf if you're having the adverse reactions.
What's so good about it is that
We're going to have
we got a call center. We got a call center.
We got a call center. Just give that number real quick because we're about ran out of time. So give us that call center number one more time.
It is 317-221-5500.
Okay. And we got to get you back. I mean, we just don't have enough time on this show to cover everything, but we really appreciate you coming in today. We love the Marion County Public Health Department. You've been one of our great sponsors, and we do appreciate the opportunity to talk about anything that affects our community. So at this time, we're going to take a commercial break. And again, thank you, Christine Brooks, and we'll be right back right after this. And welcome back to Real People, Real Voices. We had a great show today with Christine Brooks from the Marion County Public Health Department. We just don't have enough time to cover all these topics today. What do you think about that, Pastor Moore?
She had a plethora of things and websites and telephone numbers. But the main thing is that they have a on-site information number that you can call, and you'll see it on the screen there. And make sure you give the Marion County Health Department a call, and they can meet the need.
And you know, one thing we see that there's like not a decline, but people were getting vaccinated, and it kind of slowed down a little bit. I mean, we really got to be careful about that, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, we do. And I think that we're going to do our best to push it. And hopefully those who push it will be respected by the Marion County Public Health Department as it relates to making sure we get the word out.
That'd be great. And with that, that's our last word. And we really appreciate you watching Real People, Real Voices. And thank you, Pastor Jackson, for allowing me to sit in for you. It's been a pleasure. Pastor Moore, it's been a pleasure co-hosting with you. I know that, you know, it's just been a challenge for me, but sitting next to the old pro like you, I felt real comfortable.
God bless you. See you next time.